Okay, student, till now in art and culture we discuss about IBC, architectural town planning, sculptures and terracotta toys. About IBC we discuss. Then after that we discuss about Mauryan's art. In Mauryan's art we discuss about palace, stupas. Then we discuss about caves. Then Mauryan pillars or Ashokan pillars, that we discuss. Then after that post-Mauryans we discuss. Post-Mauryans, what are the changes in the cave architecture we discuss. Okay, then we discuss about three schools of art, that is Gandhara School of Art, Mathura School of Art and Amravati School of Art. Then we started, I think in the last class we started about Gupta's age, right? In Gupta's age we discuss about cave architecture. Okay, what are the changes that were occurred during Gupta's time in the cave architecture, especially the introduction of mural paintings. And we also discuss about Kailashnath temple, which is in Ellora caves, cave number 16. Okay, now in today's class we will be discussing about temple architecture in India. Okay, generally if I talk about the temple style of architecture in India, it can be broadly classified into two types. One is Nagara style of architecture and another is Dravidian style of architecture. Nagara style of architecture, it is developed in North India, and Dravidian style of architecture developed in South India. Okay. Now, if I talk about temple architecture, earlier, before or pre-Gupta's era, at the temple were there, temple were present, but those were rock-cut temples. Those temples were rock-cut temples, rather than, at present time we have the free-standing temple was there, right? Those kind of temples were not exist before Guptas. Okay, so free-standing, construction of free-standing temple were started during Gupta's time. Okay, then at the end of the Gupta's time only, one new style of temple architecture were developed in North India, that is called Nagara style of architecture, and in South India from Pallavas there was a introduction of rock-cut temples. Then from Cholas there was a beginning of the Dravidian style of temple architecture in South India. Okay, so in North India during Gupta's time, the temple architecture has been developed in 5 stages that we will study one by one. Okay, free and standing temple. So first stage of development, I'll see the picture here. If you observe, just see the picture. Okay, it is free-standing temple. It is not rock-cut temple. Okay, which were started during Gupta's time. So it is the first stage of development. What is the feature of this temple? If you observe, temple has a flat roof. It doesn't have any shikara. Okay, so top is flat roof is there. Platform, it is not high-rise platform. Low platform is there. Okay, so that low platform. Then temples were in square in shape rather than rectangular present time. Okay, so temples were square in shape, and this portico is there, right? That is standing on the pillars, shallow pillars. This one, this portico is there, no? That, and the size of the temple is also small. Okay, so this is a first stage of development of temple architecture in North India or during Gupta's time. Example, temple number 70 at Sanchi. In Sanchi is a place in Madhya Pradesh. There we have stupas also. Okay, Sanchi stupa is very famous. Then at that place only we have temple also, temple number 17, which is an example of first stage of temple architecture development during Gupta's time. Okay, then second stage. During this phase, what happened? What are the new features they have introduced? Okay, first stage features, some of the features of first stage were followed. Here, high-rise platform were introduced. In second stage of temple development, high-rise platform were introduced. Okay, first stage of development we have a single story temple, but in second stage of development there are certain instances Okay, where double story temples were also found. Okay, and Pradikshina Patha or ambulatory passage gateway or passageway were also introduced in the second stage of temple development. You know the Pradikshina Patha, which is around the Garbhagriha. So that were introduced in the second stage of development of temple architecture. Example of the second stage of development of temple, we can find it is a Nachakathura Parvati temple, one of the place in Nachakathura in Madhya Pradesh. So that's an example of second stage of temple development. Third stage, okay, lot of new features were introduced in third stage of temple development. Okay, earlier the top of the temple, it was a flat roof, but now shikara were introduced, but the height of the shikara is not great, or we can say it is not heighter when compared to the present time or the Nagara style of architecture. The height of the shikara is low. Okay, but remember the temple top is not flat roof as compared to first stage as well as the second stage of development of temple architecture. So this is the new feature which were developed during third stage of development. Okay, so rather than flat roof, there was a shikara. Okay, and the shape of the shikara was square in shape. Later it developed into rectangular in some stages. Okay, but in third stage it was in square in shape. And apart from that, another feature which is developed during third stage of temple architecture is Panchayatan style of temple. Okay, which exists till now also, Panchayatan style of temple. So what is that Panchayatan style of temple? Here, this is a main shrine. This is a main shrine. Okay, so here 4 sub-shrines will be constructed in the temple. Sub-shrines, small shrines. This is main shrine at the center. Okay, for example, if this is a square, so at the center we will be having a main shrine. Then this corner, 4 corners are there, right? There we will be having a sub-shrines or small shrines. So that style of temple architecture, it is a Panchayatan style of temple architecture. Okay, which were developed in third stage. Later it is added to the Nagara style of architecture. Okay, so that is also a new feature added. So first shikara were added. Second, Panchayatan style of temple architecture that were added. The next mandapa is also introduced in the third stage of temple architecture. Okay, mandapa just outside or just what do you call, entrance was there, no? So just beginning of the entrance there was a one open place or hall. Okay, so which is dedicated for the not devotee, it is dedicated for the people who came for to worship, so that they can sit there. Okay, so that is mandapa, but it was not developed during this time. Later stage it was developed highly. Okay, so one portico was there, pillar was approached, and one open place was there, which is considered as a mandapa just in front of the Garbhagriha. Okay, and the shape of the mandapa was rectangular shape. Okay, so these are the new feature which were introduced in the third stage of development of temple architecture. Example of this stage, we can see Dashavatar temple at Devgarh, Uttar Pradesh, Durga temple at Aihole, Karnataka, North Karnataka, Aihole. So that is an example of third stage of development of temple architecture. Check in the picture. And here is also, if you observe, there is a high raised platform. First stage, second stage, there was a low platform was there, right? Low platform. In third stage, you can see it is a high raised platform. Remember, all these developments are a part of Nagara style of architecture. Okay. Then fourth stage. It is similar to third stage. Okay. But here if you observe, main shrine, earlier it was a square. Main shrine. We have a Panchayatan style of architecture. At the center of the temple complex, we have a main shrine. In the four corners, we have a sub shrine. Right. So in fourth stage, that main shrine was there, right? Earlier it was a square in shape. Now it is rectangular in shape. Example, Thera temple in Maharashtra. Fifth stage of development. Okay, fifth stage, rather than square, rather than rectangular, okay, we have some circular temples are there. See, check. Rather than square shape of temple or a rectangular shape of temple, in fifth stage, circular shape of temple were developed. Okay, but this feature is not a part of Nagara style of architecture. Okay, Karnataka also it is not there, but this kind of architecture we can find in East India. West Bengal, that region is there, no? Or what do you call, east side of Bihar and West Bengal region, there we can find this style of architecture, temple architecture. Okay, so this is about 5 stages of development of Hindu temple architecture in North India during Gupta's time. Okay. Then what are the basic features of Indian temples? Okay. So these features are present both in Nagara style of architecture as well as the Dravidian style of architecture. So what are those features? Presence of Garbhagriha. We already know. We all know Garbhagriha. Okay. Garbhagriha, it is either it is in a square in shape or a rectangular in shape. Inside the Garbhagriha, they put the idol or main deity of the temple. Okay, so that is there. And here, earlier, okay, the size of the Garbhagriha was very small. It was a small cubicle size with a one entrance. With only one entrance it was there. But later, the Garbhagriha, okay, become the large chambers. Large chambers like, you have seen Meenakshi temple. There, very big Garbhagriha is there. No? And even that Rameshwara temple, big Garbhagriha. Okay, so that was there. Okay, and Antrala is also there, just in front of the Garbhagriha. Okay, Mandapa will be there, hall, which is having a pillar approach. Okay, hall. So there is a one passage is there between hall and Garbhagriha. That is called Antrala. Antrala. We have seen the Antrala in Rameshwara temple also, if you observe. Right. So hall will be there, Garbhagriha is there. Okay. Between that there is a one small passage is there. Where that priest will go. That is called Antrala. So that were also present in the Indian temple. Mandapa is also there. Okay, so Mandapa is considered as an entrance to the temple. Sometimes they consider it. Okay, and Mandapa, which is having the pillar approach. Portico will be there flat. Okay, and it is supported by the pillars. Pillars are square in shape. Square pillars will be there, and square column pillars were also found. Okay. And in some area, that pillars were having a sculptures also. So that were also found here. And in some temples, during evolution, okay, in some temples we can find the mandapas with the different types. We have Ardha Mandapa also, small in size. Then we have a Mandapa, regular size, and we have a Maha Mandapa also, which is in big size. Okay, so 3 types of mandapa we can find in the temple architecture. Either it is a Nagara style of architecture or it is a Dravidian style of architecture. Okay, Ardha Mandapa, Maha Mandapa and Mandapa. Then Shikhara or Vimana. Shikhara or Vimana. Just above the main shrine. Shrine is there, no? Temple shrine, main shrine is there. Garbhagriha is there. Just above the Garbhagriha, there is a Viman. Okay, so what is that Viman? It is like a mountain-like spire. Show you in the picture. See, check. This is there, right? This one, which is a curvilinear in shape. It is moving towards vertical. Okay, it is moving, but it is a curvilinear in shape. Okay, so that is Shikhara. In North India, it is a Shikhara. In South India, we have a step pyramid. Wait, I'll show you. In South India, how it is. Check. In South India, we have that. It is not a Shikhara. It is called Vimana. It is like a step, like pyramid shape is there. So that is the difference between Nagara style of architecture and this Dravidian style of architecture. Okay. That is a mixture of both. That also I will discuss. But we are discussing general feature of Indian temples. Okay, then later we will discuss each and every style of architecture. Even in Nagara style of architecture, we have a sub-schools also. That also we will discuss. Okay, so that is about Shikhara. In North India, we found Shikhara, and in South India, we found Vimanas, which are in stepped pyramid. Okay, and Vahana. It is a principal deity vehicle will be there. So that Vahanas where also we can find. Where we can find the Vahana? Outside of the Garbhagriha or on the pillars, sculptures of Vahana we can find. Okay, for example, Shiva temple is there. No? In front of that Garbhagriha of Shiva temple you can find Nandi, which is a Vahana of Lord Shiva. Okay, or in some Vishnu temple you can find the Vahana. Just entrance, that Garbhagriha is there. No? Their wall is there, the entrance wall. On that entrance wall you can find the Garuda in Vishnu temple. So those Vahanas were also present. Okay, then Amalaka Kalasha. So what is that? Amalaka majorly it is found in Nagara style of architecture. Okay, just above the top of the Shikhara, there is a one stone disc like structure is there. Okay, so that is known as Amalaka. Here, this one. Generally we found this Amalaka in Nagara style of architecture rather than Dravidian style of architecture. Okay, Dravidian style of architecture we don't find Amalaka. Generally we find top of that Gopuram, that 5 brass sculptures, not sculptures, disc will be there. That we found in Dravidian style of architecture. In Nagara style we will find the Amalaka. Above Amalaka there is a Kalasha, this one, pot, sacred pot, that we can find. Okay, Kalasha also generally we found in Nagara style of architecture, not in Dravidian style of architecture. Okay, then Antrala I discuss. Antrala, that is a passage between the Mandapa as well as the Garbhagriha. Okay, then Jagati. So what is that Jagati? Jagati is a high raised platform. Here if you observe, see, basement, base of the temple, it is a high raised platform. Steps will be there. Okay, so generally the temples of the North India, especially the Nagara style of architecture, they have constructed in high raised platform compared to South India. South India low platform. Okay, Dravidian. So that is about features of what? Hindu temple architecture in India, not Nagara style or Dravidian style. So these features are present both in Nagara as well as the Dravidian style of architecture. Okay, then in next class we will discuss about Nagara style of architecture. Okay.